Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Mooresville Ford. We're going to take a look at their 2022 Ford F150 XLT with the Sharrod LZ1 edition package. So huge shout out to them for providing this highly modified pickup truck for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. All that info is down in the description. The F150 that you see behind me is finished off in rapid red metallic, and it has a list price just under $80,000. Starting off today's review, let's look at what powers this specific F150 because there are a few different engine options. This truck has the 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6 engine paired with the 10-speed automatic transmission, and it pumps out 400 horsepower around 6,000 RPM and 500 pound-feet of torque around 3,100 RPM. The power sent to the rear wheels, this does have the 4-wheel drive system. It weighs in right around 5,000 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in just over 6 seconds, up to its top speed of 130 miles an hour, and it has a fuel capacity of 26 gallons. You can expect to see around 17 miles per gallon in the city and 23 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 145 inches. Its overall length is 231.7. It has a width of 79.9, a height of 77.2 inches, and its stock ground clearance comes in at 9.4 inches. However, with this lifted truck, obviously that's much higher. And now as we work our way to the exterior styling for this F-150, let's start off with the Ford logo front and center. This also has an incorporated forward-facing camera just underneath that to provide you even more visibility for the size of this truck, along with the additional parking sensors that are in the lower section. The grille is also body colored, giving it a really clean look. There are plenty of cutouts in this grille to provide even more cooling to this engine. And this truck even has the quad beam design for the headlights and the high beams, along with having the LED DRLs with the turn signal right in the middle. The DRL surrounds the entire outer section and then even wraps around the LED fog lights in the lower section. Gives it a really cool look with the body colored bumper running right through the middle. There's more cutouts in the middle section of that bumper, 2 tow hooks along with the air dam to provide even more aerodynamics, and then up underneath is the custom colored cross members for the 6-inch lift kit. Really nice to see them body colored, and up on the hood are very clean lines running down both sides. Really nice bulges too, just add to the size of this truck and the beefiness for that front end design. And working our way to the sides, this has a brand new set of 35 by 12.5 inch Nitto Ridge grapplers wrapping a 20-inch wheel. Has a really cool two-tone design to it. The brake calipers are also finished off in red. And then you can see more of these suspension components up front, along with these pocket style fender flares, which also add to the width of this truck, along with that tire. Gives it a really nice design. The side mirrors are finished off in black. They have the turn signal along with that camera, which I'll show later in this video. This has a full moonroof up top as well. The lower side step there just to help you enter and exit since this is such a massive truck. The flag for the Sharrod logo is on the back door there along with LZ1. You can get a look at the rear tire combo here. This also has blocks in the rear, so we'll see how this rides when we get it out on the road. You can see more of that fender flare, giving it a really nice side proportional design. There's a line in the lower section of the door just adding to the side design. And then in the rear is the backup camera, front and center, along with F150 stamped in the lower section. This has all the parking sensors and the body colored bumper end caps. And this has a towing capacity just over 11,000 pounds, which is very healthy for this truck and the engine option. And it even has the dual exhaust exiting on both sides up underneath. And with the exterior wrapped up, let's move on to the cargo bed. I can push the button on the key fob twice, and this will lower. There's an outlet over on the driver's side there, along with tie-down hooks. This is the shorter bed here, but still has plenty of space for anything you'd like to place in it. And then on the top section of the tailgate, there's actually these clamp spots here. So if you're working on wood or you're doing something with this truck, you can actually clamp down whatever it is you're cutting or working on. Really cool to see that incorporated in the top section of that tailgate. And it's very lightweight, so it's easy to close with one hand. And now we can work our way to the back seats. And opening the back door, the door panel has really nice black leather and silver stitching with this dark trim piece on the front section of the release handle, which is nicely tucked away. There's a small storage for a cup holder, as well as the window control, one speaker, and a split design in this shelf. So you can see a little bit of storage up top and all of the storage in the lower section of the door. There's also the Sharrod logos on the door sill there, and with that fixed running board and the grab handle up top, at 5'10", I can jump up into this truck where I have plenty of space with the front seat set at my height, a lot of room for my feet and my legs, and around an inch or two above my head. You can fit full-size adults in the back of this full-size truck, which is of course great to see. And then this has the electronic sliding rear glass that you can open and close. Really nice design with these black leather seats. I love the diamond stitching running down them. Right in the middle are 2 cup holders along with a little bit of storage. You could place your phone or other items like that. There are 2 air vents with a 12 volt right in the middle. And then at the very bottom is a USB, USB-C, and a 3-prong outlet. And plenty of room running at the footwell here for even your middle seat passenger. We can get a look at the full moonroof, provides a lot of light for this interior. And what I love about these back seats is there's even more hidden storage space up underneath. So just by lifting the bottom and locking it into place, there's this divider here so you could place smaller items that you don't want to roll around. And by lifting up both of the cushions, that gives you an ample amount of flat storage where you can place any items if you need that interior storage. And then with the pull of a tab, you can quickly put that seat back down if you need it for people. So it's really nice to see that. This truck does have the remote start, so if I lock it and double tap this button, it will automatically fire right up, which is another great option. You can shut the truck off for whatever reason by using that button. And of course, you can use that to unlock it. You can use the keypad or just place your hand on the door handle and it will automatically unlock. And then the front door panel is exactly like the rear one. It has the addition of the side mirror adjustments along with all of the window controls. Really cool trim piece that I didn't show on the rear door panels, and the same amount of storage in the lower section. And then looking at these black leather seats again, Sherrod is up in the headrest, more of that silver stitching and the diamond stitch pattern. And these are automatic seats, so all of those controls are down on the side. And working our way up into the seat, just like the rear, we have that grab handle, which makes it very, very helpful to enter and exit. Plenty of room with this door open, and then we have that release handle located on the back side. And working our way to the steering wheel, it's completely covered in solid black leather, more of that silver stitching to match the trim on the seats. Over on the left side is volume and Bluetooth controls, as well as the lane keeping assist and the distance pacing and cruise control. On the right side is more Bluetooth and tuning, as well as all of these buttons to go through that center screen. But let's fire up this F-150 with my foot on the brake. That button is over on the right side. We can bring this to life. And coming back to the gauge cluster, over on the left side is the tach as well as what gear you're in. On the right side is miles per hour. And right in the middle is a very large LCD screen where you can go through a lot of information using those buttons I previously showed. On the upper section of this screen is all the fixed information like your fuel, engine temperature, and some other vitals. And currently you can see the TPMS. If I scroll down, now is the off-road settings with the pitch and roll as well as the degrees for the steering wheel. There's also the power distribution you can monitor, as well as some other engine information, even the seatbelts to see who has one on or not. If I click on menu, we can go back to the main menu where you can go into my view, which is basically a customized setting. So as you can tell on the screen there, you can add anything that you'd like to see the most. Really nice to have that shortcut. There's trip and fuel along with the truck info, which has your tire pressure, off-road, everything that I just showed. There's even towing that you can monitor, so you can go through all of that information as well as status and have that set up and ready to go. There's navigation, phone, and audio, as well as settings that you can go into just to configure all of that as needed. So it's nice to have all of that front and center, gives you really good graphics for all of that info. There's even more brush trim on the steering wheel, matching nicely with the door panel. Over on the left side is the electronic parking brake, as well as the bed cargo light you can turn on and off. All the headlight adjustments and fog light adjustments are to the right of that, as well as being able to open up the tailgate. There's also a spotlight on both side mirrors, so if you're using this truck at night, you can turn those on and have lights on the side of the truck. Really cool to see that. Up in the middle is a little bit of storage, and then right in the middle is this massive touchscreen system. On the lower section are all of the presets, so this already has audio and phone, navigation as you just saw. We can go into the apps here. This has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Settings will go through all this general information that you need to go through, just depending on what you like to have set up with what. And then features, you can go through the zone lighting, the towing, even the driver assistance. The zone lighting is a really cool feature, so I can turn all of these zones on. So that's headlights, side mirrors, and even the taillights acting as lights. or you can specifically choose what you'd like to have on. If you're using this as a work truck, you need it at night. Really awesome to see that. And then over on this far right side, there's a lot more info you can go through. Basically everything that we just saw, except you can scroll through it now and look at all of this while you have something running on this larger screen. So if we have the navigation on, you can still go through all this information just depending on what you need to be full screen and what you need to have in the smaller screen here. On the upper section here, there's a few toggles. If I push on the camera one, as I mentioned earlier, this has the full 360-degree view. So we have the forward-facing camera along with the top-down view. And then just by pushing on that button, we can go through a few different settings with the widescreen and the split screen for the forward facing. There's even a camera next to the spotlight in the bed, so you can keep an eye on everything that's in the bed while you're towing it. There's even a top-down view for the hitch, makes it much easier when you're backing up to a trailer. And then we have the full view here. So it's really nice to have that amount of visibility. We even have the auto park brake, which you can turn on and off. So that's neat to have. The parking sensors are right next to that, along with the hazards and traction control. And then on both sides of that screen is an air vent. Over on this left side is the Pro Trailer System. So if you've never backed up or you need a little bit of assistance, you can actually use this dial to steer the truck and get the trailer exactly where you want it. Over on the right side, this button here is for the upper glove box. So just by pushing on that, you'll see there's a good amount of storage space for additional items. And then right in the middle is power and volume along with tuning for the radio. Pushing on this button here will show 3 different displays. You can pull up the time as well as the date. You can shut that screen completely off or bring it back up to where it was. A few other music controls are right in the middle. Over on this left side is the drive select for 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low. This even has a locking diff for the rear axle. And then right in the middle is all the climate controls. This does have a dual zone climate, so there's temperature for the driver, temperature for the passenger. Fan speed is right in the middle. These are even heated seats, so all of those controls are on both sides, as well as where you'd like the air to go and other recircs. And at the very bottom is a pretty deep compartment where you could place other items. You can charge them too with the USB and the USB-C. On this right side are 2 cup holders, a little bit of storage right in the middle, and then working our way to this gear selector now, just by pushing on this button on the front section, it will automatically lower the gear shifter. So if you need a nice flat surface, if you're using this as a work truck, you have any items that you need to place there, really makes it that much more convenient. You can only do that in park, of course. And then with it back up, the release is on the front section. Just by putting it into reverse, that backup camera will appear like I showed earlier. You can go all the way down into drive, even use the manual setting and shift on the sides. So if you're towing or you're even off-road, you need to hold the gear, you can quickly do that. And then park is all the way back forwards. And then working our way to the center armrest, it's completely covered in leather. There's even a lockable safe. And when I open this up, there's a massive amount of room for any items that you need to safely secure in the middle of this truck. And then working our way to the second glove box, plenty of room for all the info that needs to go in there. We'll take one last look at these seats with a really nice diamond stitch pattern. And like I mentioned earlier, this has the full moonroof. We have the adjustments for the sunshade as well as the sunroof up in the middle, even the adjustment for that rear glass. There's even a sunglass holder on the back side. And so now as we get this 2022 Ford F150 out on the road, let's talk about the package provided for this F150. We have the 6-inch lift kit, the bigger tires, the bigger wheels, all of the custom interior with the stitching and all of these logos. It's a really nice package for a truck that's already built. If you're not interested in building a truck, doing all these parts one by one, you want to buy something that is complete, ready to go right off of the factory lot. This is a great option. It comes with a warranty. It even has the recalibration for the speedometer. So that accommodates for the larger tires. You're already going the correct speed with that already calibrated. And with the warranty, it's a win-win. You get a really nice truck and everything is backed under a warranty. So if you want that peace of mind with a truck that's already built, definitely a great way to go. And talking about this lift kit, like I mentioned earlier, there are blocks in the rear. I have a lot of experiences with lifted trucks. I have a lifted truck myself, and the blocks in this are riding really nice. This rides and drives just like a factory, completely stock F-150 would, and I really like to see that. A lot of people are scared with lifted trucks. Will they ride differently? Is it gonna be bouncy? Is it gonna sway everywhere? It's really nice, very smooth so far. It's very quiet at the same time as well. Being the XLT, we have a lot of nice goodies on the interior with this large screen, the large gauge cluster there to go through a lot more info. And there is plenty of storage on the interior of this full-size truck. There's even compartments on both sides of the center area, which I didn't show earlier. Plenty of storage in the back area there, as well as for putting people in the back. This is a great truck. I love how practical it is. I love how capable it is as well. With this lift kit, you have well over 10 inches of ground clearance. So if you had to take this off-road, we have the 4-wheel drive system. And so now as we switch over to the POV angle, let's give this 3.5 liter EcoBoost engine some throttle. And we are up to speed, plenty of horsepower and torque. The truck is empty right now, obviously, but it will definitely help with that towing capacity and whatever you hook up or put in the bed of this truck. So it's a great engine option. There are different engine options, as I mentioned earlier. You can go with a V8 if you want even more power and capabilities. But for this XLT, great engine option for it. And hopefully you can tell from this perspective how high up this truck is. We are sitting very high. You are the king of the road when you're driving this lifted truck. We have another full-size Ford coming at us that is stock, and I can see over the entire roof of that truck. So we are that high, and that's a big truck too. That was an F250. And coming around this turn, for the speed I was able to go there, it handled it well. For being a bigger truck with the lift, bigger tires, we do have a little bit wider of a stance compared to the factory vehicle, but it took that turn with no issues. You're not driving this to be fast, so going around at a normal rate of speed there. Definitely a great truck, very quiet and comfortable. This suspension is really impressing me as far as driving just like a factory F150 would. And as far as visibility goes for this truck, aside from the 3D camera system, I can look over my right shoulder there, and then a quick glance over the left shoulder. Pickups really don't have any blind spots because it's so open in here. The pillars in the back are very minimal. It's very easy to see all around. And the addition of that camera system is very helpful, especially with the size of this. We have the full moonroof as well, which provides a lot of light. And obviously with the push of a button, we can close that as needed. The interior of this XLT is very nice with all these materials. Just has a great design for this interior. But that's gonna wrap it up for this walk around review and test drive, getting behind the wheel of this 2022 F150 XLT. Once again, a huge shout out to Mooresville Ford for providing this massive truck for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. All that info is down in the description. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.